Hi, welcome to Reddit Tea Time. I run a TNR program for feral cats. Non-profit, I catch all cats and get them the medical attention they need myself out of my own pocket. I love helping them. A lot of the cats are not able to be rehomed, so I fix them and release them. Get them their shots and hope for the best. I'm not a large-scale operation. Recently, I was called to an area overrun with orange cats. They were everywhere, and I mostly ended up handing it over to professionals. I did, however, manage to grab 3 very sweet cats. They were terrified, skinny, a little beaten up, but overall friendly. The third one was a little gent. He was tubby, well-groomed, fish pattern collar, the works. My plan was to find his parents and drop him off with a warning to keep him in due to the large amount of traps being set. Then the little bastard sprayed the inside of my car to the freaking max. So apparently he wasn't fixed. I couldn't really tell, long hair, and assumed he was, so I left my covers off. Big mistake. I debated taking him home or taking him to get neutered with the rest. He was an indoor-outdoor cat, indicated by his collar tag. And with so many strays, I'm certain some were carrying his genetics. Ultimately, I took him with me and got him neutered. No chip, so I called the number on his tag and informed them where their cat was and gave them time slots to pick him up or have him dropped off. The owners went ballistic. They were cursing me out and came to collect their cat not 20 minutes later, called me a kidnapper, blamed me for their child having nightmares, scared over their cat going missing. I tried to explain that he needed to be fixed if he was going to be outside, but they didn't want to know. They said I should have called immediately regardless. I spoke to my rescue friend who said I was in the wrong. Even though we know we're technically in the right, we didn't have the legal ground to do that, and it wasn't my decision to make. I did apologize but have blocked their numbers. The mom is flaming me on Facebook and DMing people I know. I have a duty to care for stray cats. Me knowing an unneutered male was roaming free and not doing anything about it was a concern for said stray cats. Things are still tense between my rescue buddy and I don't completely disagree. I know I crossed the line, even if it was for the greater good. People are finding out and taking sides, so I'm not sure who to really believe was right here. So, am I the bonehead? Now for some comments. You're the bonehead. You did kidnap their cat and made a superbly arrogant decision to have him neutered without the owner's permission. You can judge them all you want for letting their cat outside, but the first thing to have done was to call the cat's people and ask, "Hey, I found your cat. Did you know he was outside?" That's the basic due diligence, right there. Translated, what decent people who are not boneheads regularly do. How a vet decided to neuter the cat means you must have taken off the collar and obscured the owner's information, or they would have not done it without their permission. You just make yourself hella actionable legally. You don't know if they were planning to breed the cat and he just happened to get out. Everyone sucks here. The owners for letting an intact pet outside unsupervised to breed, and you for having a surgical medical procedure done to an animal that you knew had owners without the owner's consent. Regardless of the morality of allowing pets to contribute to the stray population, for which the owner is a bonehead, making medical decisions for someone else's pet makes you a massive bonehead. Everyone sucks. Info, you said. The third one was a little gent. He was tubby, well-groomed, fish pattern collar, the works. My plan was to find his parents and drop him off with a warning to keep him in due to the large amount of traps being set. Then the little bastard sprayed the inside of my car to the freaking max. This really makes it sound like you changed your mind out of spite. Can you be absolutely sure you didn't? My sister and I have an okay relationship. It's not the best, but it's not the worst. She met a guy named Riley and they hit it off so well that he proposed to her 3 months after they started dating. Our parents thought it was too sudden, but they left them alone because they're grown and can make their own decisions. Anyway, my sister and Riley have decided to go vegan. Cool, don't really care. Only issue I have is that they try to incorporate it into nearly every conversation we have. They have somewhat boring personalities, so I guess they needed something to make their personality about, but it's okay. I was invited to their wedding and not gonna lie, I had to think about it for a bit because I'm not too big on social gatherings, but it was my sister, so I decided to go. At the wedding, I had a fairly great time. It wasn't too bad. Got to talk to some new people and got out of my comfort zone a bit. The fun arrived to a complete stop when it was time to eat though. All the food was vegan. Things like bread, tofu salad, I don't even know, man. I wasn't the only one confused, but the guests still dug in. I wasn't a fan though. I confronted my sister and Riley and asked what was up with all the vegan food. They said they wanted to present a different lifestyle to the guests and joked about steering them away from meat. I was pretty disgusted, not gonna lie. That sounded rude. I snapped back and said, if I did the same thing to you guys but with meat, how would you react? Stop being so inconsiderate and learn to cater to your guests. She told me if I had a problem with it, then the door is to the left and I don't need to look back. I laughed and said there was no way she was kicking me out over me calling her out. She shrugged and walked away. Riley called me entitled and said I ruined what was supposed to be a special day. I sighed and left. That same night, I got a phone call from my dad that my sister was in tears. He told me I should have acted my age and focused on my sister and her new husband, not the food. My mom also texted that my behavior was shameful and that I wasn't raised to be judgmental of people's life choices. I immediately felt bad. I kept thinking about it. I couldn't sleep at night because I kept replaying the confrontation in my head. I was just sick of all this vegan crap being forced on me and I was hangry. Am I the bonehead? Edit. I don't eat meat every single day. I was just hungry and in the mood for some that day. And when I saw the food and it was all vegan and looked like crap, I noped out. Yeah, I could have reacted better, but I'm tired of them always talking about being vegan and telling me I should try it. And now for some comments. You're the bonehead. Their wedding is the wrong place for your soapbox protests. You said, if I did the same thing to you guys but with meat, how would you react? This is a nonsense argument. Vegans can't eat meat. Edit. And still remain vegan, but people who eat meat can still eat vegan food without compromise. Edit. Asking someone to omit something they eat from a meal is vastly different than asking them to include something they don't eat. Honestly, it won't kill you to not have meat in one single meal. You can always go through a drive-thru on your way home and eat whatever you like. By the way, you're missing out on some really amazing food by dismissing things just because they're vegan. I eat plenty of meat, but there are some amazing vegan dishes out there. You're the bonehead. Are you sure you're 30? This post reads like a young teenager wrote it. Your behavior is also more akin to a young teenager than a fully grown adult. It's their wedding. They can serve whatever food they please at their wedding. You were also very dismissive of the whole thing before you even got there, acting like some kind of martyr because you deigned to attend your sister's wedding. You couldn't just suck up your crappy attitude for one day? You're the bonehead. Vegans and vegetarians cannot eat meat. You made a false equivalency. You serving me food I do not like is the same as I served you food you cannot eat. You acted like a bonehead because you threw a tantrum over not liking the food your host served at their party. That you did so at a wedding only amplifies how much of a bonehead you were. Their wedding was not about you and shouldn't have been. Nah, you're the bonehead, and it's not even close. I feel like this post is bait, but in case it isn't, here we go. From the beginning of your post, it seems like you have some kind of disdain for your sister and pretty much all her lifestyle choices. In general, you make unnecessary jabs at her, the personality comment, and don't seem to even care much about her, almost didn't go. You make it abundantly clear that you specifically have something against vegans, especially when you say that you don't really care that she became one. That's all background. The main reason you're a bonehead is because her wedding day is about her alone, and you managed to not only ruin it for her, but also make it about yourself. Why couldn't you suck it up and eat bread and salad for one evening? Why couldn't you wait even one day? A few would have been nicer to voice your opinion in a normative, respectful way, instead of insulting your sister on what's supposed to be the best night of her life in front of the people she loves the most. You kinda suck. I hope you learn from this. So, me and my girlfriend have been dating for around 2 years now. We've had our ups and downs, but overall we have a great relationship and I definitely see a future together. We really love and respect each other and connect well. But the thing is, we come from different backgrounds. I come from a Muslim background. I'm not that religious though, and she's white. However, we still made it work, and our similarities are much more than our differences. Now, my girlfriend does like wearing short clothing when we're out and about, which used to bother me at first and made me uncomfortable, and we did have a few minor fights over it, but eventually I came to terms with it. However, recently an embarrassing situation happened. There was a pool party at my cousin's house, and my parents were there too. I had recently introduced my girlfriend to my parents as well, so this was a good time to meet family and relatives. I specifically told her to please pack something more on the modest side, as my family would be there, and most women usually don't wear such revealing stuff in our culture. She didn't give me much of a response and just nodded. But what did I see in the pool? Her wearing a two-piece bikini with kinda cheeky bottoms too. Even one piece would have been better, but nah, she went all in this time. She was probably the one dressed most immodestly. No one said anything, but afterwards, I was so embarrassed I couldn't show my face to my parents and all. I did talk to her about it and scolded her a bit, but she told me she can wear whatever the hell she wants whenever she wants. I couldn't say anything afterwards. We've been quiet to each other for a while, but slowly making up now. Am I the bonehead? Now for some comments. You're the bonehead. She can indeed wear whatever she wants, and it's inappropriate for you to dictate otherwise or scold her about it. Info. Why did you start dating someone you wanted to change? You're the bonehead. You scolded her? WTF, she's a grown woman, not your child. And she's 1000% correct. She can wear whatever the hell she wants to. It's her body, not yours. Let her? You can't let her do anything, as again, she's a grown woman. Everyone sucks here. Contrary to what you posted, it doesn't sound like either of you respect the other. She should have been more conservative out of respect for you, and you should not be embarrassed by her. Cross-cultural relationships are hard. Wishing you luck. Everyone sucks here. Dressing appropriately for the occasion seems to be a lost art. A pool party in a conservative Muslim home is different than a pool party at a hotel in Miami. It's really not hard to be respectful of the situation. I recently traveled to a Muslim country. I didn't have to be fully covered, but I did make sure to dress more modestly than I would have at home out of respect for their culture. Being embarrassed and scolding your girlfriend for her choices is also not a great move. Further discussion beforehand to make sure you were both on the same page and okay with the situation could have prevented an issue here. Growing up, I had a friend whose parents didn't allow bikinis at their pool. Because I wanted to swim, I didn't wear bikinis over there. It's not that hard. Did I disagree with their opinions? Yes. Did I want to swim more than I wanted to wear a bikini? Yes. She can swim other places in her bikini. She wouldn't wear it to work, the grocery, a bar, etc. Bikinis aren't appropriate for most environments, and this is just one of them. Not the bonehead. What do you think? Please let me know in the comments below. If you liked this story and you've made it this far, please consider subscribing. I really appreciate you spending your valuable time with me. Hopefully, I'll see you in the next Reddit story.